Good morning, everybody, and a happy Wednesday morning to you. This is another super long video because, as usual, we have a lot of information in here. So, oh my goodness, some of it you're just not going to believe. All right, let's jump in. Let's get busy. Let's go. We are going to start with Sophie and Edward, day 3 of their tour of Japan. And one of the first things they did was go to the Suji Temple. This is a traditional Buddhist temple that dates back to the 12th century as part of a tour of these kinds of, historical places in Japan. The temple is located in an area called Koyasan. Now, while they were there, after they toured, as you can see, Sophie and Edward were given some absolutely fabulous gifts. They met with the mayor of the area as well as the head priest. Now, there are several tours that they went on during this day. And when they were done at this place, they went on to the next place. And while they were there, they were taken to look for pine needles under the Senko no Mastu, or the sacred pine tree. And this was at Danjo Garin, which is one of the most significant religious sites in Japan. Now, while they were there, the two of them helped turn the Rokaku Kuzo. Turning it once is believed to bring the same spiritual merit as reciting the entire Buddhist canon. Essentially, it's a hexagonal sutra repository, if that makes sense. You should know that this temple is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's known for its wooden structures, intricate designs, and tranquil gardens. And after the temple tour, Koyasan, now this place is a temple town, which is supposed to be one of the most spiritually significant sites in Japan. Now, while they were there, they met children involved in the British Council English program delivered at the Chumo, which is called the Middle Gate, and they welcomed them there as Edward and Sophie walked up. They were standing there waving Union Jack flags. Now, these children showed Edward and Sophie around the sacred sites. The kids there are learning English to help the town welcome international visitors while preserving its traditions. And this town, for over 1,200 years, it's being reported, has flourished as an active monastic site that serves as the center of Shingon Buddhism in Japan. Obviously, Sophie needed help from a translator to talk to the children, but she's such a natural with children. It's obvious that this tour is going well. Now, this is day 3. We still have a few more things to discuss, but I'm going to save those for tomorrow. Personally, I think the tour is going super well, and I love everything Sophie is wearing. Don't misunderstand me, but I wish I could see her in something more than florals. You guys get what I'm saying? She's so pretty, and it seems like everything she wears is floral. I'd love a little change. That's all I'm saying. But I do love her, and I think the tour is going well. Now, that still was not the end of the visit. They went on to visit Okuno Cemetery. Now, in accordance with tradition, the two of them offered water to the water offering Bodhisattva before proceeding towards the mausoleum, and along the way, they paused at the Imperial Memorial Site associated with the Japanese imperial family, which has long maintained close ties with the British royal family. A big thank you to Remoulade Sauce for showing us everything Sophie was wearing that day. Let's move on. All right, next up, Catherine. One of the things that they're talking about is that Catherine is struggling with the onslaught of commentary and criticism about her appearance and speculation about her health. We all know that cancer is a complicated illness. That's true for everybody. So Catherine took some time away from the spotlight after she was diagnosed, and she's had a slow return to royal duties since her remission. But this is still hard, and they're saying that this cancer diagnosis is directly tied to her new look. And then she's, sick by people and their comments about her, which I completely agree. I think she looks fabulous. All right, let's move on. Let's move on now to King Charles. He arrived in Barrow in Furness to recognize the town's critical contribution to industry and national defense. The port is home to the BAE Systems shipyard, where UK's nuclear-powered submarines are built. And when the Prime Minister visited in March, he confirmed that King Charles had agreed to grant the title of the Royal Port of Barrow on the area around the shipyard and the docks. So crowds, including children, were really cheering. They were out there when Charles arrived in the town to bestow the honor. Charles was really in his element here, and it reminds me of how when he went on these royal tours, he said it was the perfect tonic for his illness. So I feel like when he's out and about, meeting people and greeting people and doing his work, this is when he feels the best. Now, the king visited the town hall. Celebrations included a performance by the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra. Now, one thing, do you remember when he met that woman that was 106 and she said all the girls wanted to marry you and still would if you're up to it? Well, this woman in green said, I was one of the girls that wanted to marry you. Love it. Now, once Charles got to the BAE shipyard, he read the commissioning warrant at a formal ceremony to mark nuclear submarine HMS Agamemnon is the name, entering operational service. That thing is huge. It's part of the Astute class of nuclear-powered submarines. This ceremony also recognized those who built, staff, and support the vessel, while the king also spoke with construction staff and the submarine serving personnel and their families. It's going to start sea trials, obviously, before going into active service. And this is very interesting. It was named after the commander of the mythical ancient Greek forces in the Trojan War. It weighs 7,400 tons. It is 97 meters or 318 feet in length, the same as 4 buses. It can strike land targets up to 1,000 miles away, serve as a launch pad for raids by teams of Royal Marine Commandos, and it can gather intelligence. Dignitaries attending included the Defense Secretary John Healey. King Charles also visited a career hub that opened as part of their plans to help regenerate Barrow's town center. He also stopped into a nearby coffee shop where he met representatives from charities and community groups that are supported by the Team Barrow Social Impact Fund. And again, as I said before, King Charles looks like he's really in his element and having a fabulous time, and he looks really good. All right, let's move on. Next up, a few days ago, United for Wildlife, which is Tusk, which is something that Prince William really supports, put out a video with a message of support for this year's Wildlife Ranger Challenge. And it was shared at the African Ranger Congress in Kenya. Now, let's not forget that the whole African park things with Harry is not going well. He has yet to say one word about that mess. He's just ignored it. I don't know if he thinks people are going to forget about it or what. But in the meantime, as you can see, William is continuing on with his fabulous work. Let's move on. Let's move on now to Sarah Ferguson. I was watching this happen in real time. It was like, what the hell is going on? So to start off with, Julia's House, which is a children's hospice, removed Sarah Ferguson as their patron, saying it was inappropriate for her to continue in the role. Then next thing you knew, the Teenage Cancer Trust, the Natasha Allergy Research Foundation, the Children's Literacy Charity, the National Foundation for Retired Service Animals, the Prevent Breast Cancer. Now that one really shocked me since Sarah, we know, just got over breast cancer. They all announced that they were dropping Sarah as patron, and the British Heart Foundation said that she would no longer be their ambassador. Now, this all happened after the Mail on Sunday and the Sun newspapers published that 2011 email from Sarah to Epstein, which appears to have been sent after she publicly claimed to have broken off contact with him. A spokesman for Sarah said she was not commenting on the charity's decisions to end their links with her. This avalanche of charities that are cutting ties with her is going to be a problem because most of Sarah's remaining public profile is about philanthropy and causes involving children. And the charities deem her no longer appropriate to be their representative, suggesting really how bad her brand has been damaged by her connection to Epstein. It's like a tanker slowly leaking out toxic pollution, and it tarnishes everything it touches. But the tipping point for these charities was the awkward email exchange. And now, of course, we've got Andrew with his leaks. I mean, it's just the two of them. Yeah, this is just not good. All right, let's move on. We have some more fake PR crap. Just a few weeks ago, it was Harry that claimed his family was trying to trap him by keeping him there. Then it was William was, keeping his father away from him. And now they're saying that the king is sick of William and wants Harry back. The narrative is that the king is desperately missing Harry and is tiring of William's self-righteous intractability in the feud that, divides their family. Now, a royal biographer has claimed that Tina Brown, who was friends with Princess Diana, said that Charles wants to re-embrace Harry, but only if he can keep his mouth shut. And that the king's 54-minute chat with Harry at Clarence's house in London during his visit was the fulfillment of paternal longing. I beg to differ. I think Harry went in. I think Harry offered to come back. I think he asked for the half in, half out. I think the king said no. And that's why Harry looked like a whipped puppy on his way out the door, because he did not get what he wanted. These stories about William, I believe, were planted by Meredith Maines, and this was all part of a PR initiative. And then when Harry's father, the king, said that Harry can never be a part-time royal, he's a forgiving man, but he was absolutely clear in upholding what the Queen said. I think that was the slap in the face for Harry. And then, Meredith Maines is going to take the major brunt of this not working out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Harry was so upset when he left the king's residence after that meeting, and now we know why. He offered to step in, he offered to help, and he was told no. And it was at that time that a spokesman for Harry said that Harry made it clear that the focus is on his father and nobody else as it relates to the family. All right, next up, I want to correct a narrative that's been going around. A lot of people are saying that Meghan was not supposed to be on that stage, that she showed up behind Harry, she scared him or surprised him, but that's not true. Listen to this.
So we'd like to introduce tonight the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
So what happened at this point was Harry turns around, come on, Meghan, come on, Meghan. Meghan's chatting to somebody. She won't stop talking. So Harry goes ahead onto the stage, gets the mic. He's waiting for Meghan to show up. Meghan walks out, touches his back like, I'm here. And then realizing that she's not going to say anything, she turns around and leaves the stage. Bye-bye. So she was supposed to be there. Absolutely, she was supposed to be there. Now, a meme came out, which I thought was absolutely fabulous. I have to show it to you. Here you go. All right, let's move on. We know that Harry and Meghan were in a 2020 special about Disney, and we've already seen all the pictures that they put up of the kids and all the different places that they went and all the different things that they did. But then they showed this picture. For me, it's two lonely children by themselves at what looks like a very small, pathetic birthday party because the kid has not allowed to have any friends. And then you look at the bottom left, ABC back grid. So now you know the entire trip was probably financed by Disney. They used Diana again, Diana, to make sure that you know that Harry is Diana's son. And this is how they went to Disney. It was paid for by somebody else. Unbelievable. I feel so bad for those kids. I really do. They have such sad, pathetic lives. All right, moving on. Now, because Harry feels bad about his children's pathetic lives without friends and family, It's being reported that Harry has registered Archie at Eton. It is a boarding school in the UK. And so supposedly it's safer than the American schools due to the gun laws. I don't believe for 1 second that this is true, because Meghan has already said that she doesn't like boarding schools. She thinks they're barbaric. But then no sooner did I think that than this popped up saying that he did not register Archie at Eton College. Apparently, Harry has confided in several friends that he fears his children are growing up without the importance of community, friends, family, blah, blah, blah. And apparently this school is just a 15-minute walk from Windsor Castle. You know, guys, let's use common sense. Archie knows nothing about the UK. He has no friends there. He really has no family there, because the Wales children, I can assure you, they will not be allowed to mingle and mix. He knows nothing about the culture. And in the meantime, Meghan hates the UK and she doesn't want to go back there. There's no way that child is going to school anywhere in the UK. And finally, David and Victoria Beckham. Now, they're being accused of mocking Meghan because, God forbid, David went into his Cotswold home and took plums and made a jam in the family kitchen. And there was a whole Instagram video about it, and he named it David Beck Jam. And so people are going, well, it's all, it's a dig at Meghan. It's a dig at their son Brooklyn, who recently made his own preserves, and Meghan, who has her own line of fruit spreads. You know what it comes down to, you guys? What it comes down to is this stuff is easy to make. You can make it at home. And of course, we know that Meghan's is mass produced. It's not organic. It's just made in some plant somewhere, and nobody's the least bit interested in it. Now, would I buy some of David's plum jam or jelly or whatever he's making? Oh, abso-freaking-lutely. I would absolutely buy it. I hope he makes it. I hope he markets it. And I hope it's available for sale somewhere near me so I can get some. Because, yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Then go down into the description box where you'll find a link to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, a link to my second channel, a link to my father's book, which is still up for sale on Amazon, and a link to my Amazon wish list, as well as a physical address. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.